You're on the end.
Judge, thank you very much. Judge, I have Mr. Boulias on page 13, Your Honor. Rene Boulias.
You see Mr. Boulias?
Yeah, I'm not like, if you checked other website services,
Mr. Boulias, hey, sir, good afternoon. Can you hear me? There you go.
Judge, this is not who you're asking for.
Okay. Is Mr. Boulias there?
He's not at the main.
Ulysses Boulias?
He's here, Judge.
Okay.
Hey, what the hell was going on back there?
Don't get him mad before I get up there.
Do you have a place to stay separate from the rest? Hey, y'all, I'm coming.
All right, that's all I need. Anything else?
Oh.
Okay, good luck today.
One person. Oh,
You got a lawyer.
yeah, yeah.
75.
Okay. Now, good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. May it please the court. Howard Schumacher. I'm actually standing in for Michael Enton, who's unable to be present today, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Enton's client has been charged with trafficking cocaine, and the court notes that total weight of the cocaine he allegedly had in his possession was 2,217.1 grams of powdered cocaine. Now, do you have any issue about probable cause today?
they're at charge.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, State, are there any priors on this gentleman?
Your Honor, he had a, one moment, I'm sorry.
Do you know anything about the client? Do we know?
Nah, I got it.
Good. Judge, I do. Mr. Boulias is a lifetime resident of Broward County, Your Honor. I have here in court with me, Judge, his girlfriend and the mother of his child, Miss Danielle Skiba. They've been together for 6 years. He has a 4-year-old daughter here. He has...
Where's Miss Steva?
Skiba?
Come on up. Ma'am, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Put your hand out. Tell me your name.
Danielle Skiba?
Ms. Skiba, and you are the mother of Mr. Boulias' child, right?
His son,
How
yes.
old's the child?
4?
Now, does Mr. Boulias help support the child and support you?
Yes.
Okay, and is he a good father to the
He's
child?
he's a great dad. He also has 3 other kids in Ohio he
Okay.
takes care of
Got it. Okay. How long has he been down here in South Florida?
his whole life.
Okay. All right. How old's the child?
He's 4.
Okay. Anything else?
Judge, the other 2 children that he provides support for are in Ohio, along with a stepchild also in Ohio, Judge. He's a boat detailer. He's been in that business for a significant number of years. I'd point out, Judge, that he also has a business that was recently opened here in Broward County in Davie, an ice cream store by the name of Sweet Sensations. He's in that same business with a partner. They've invested a considerable amount of time and effort and money associated with that. That's keeping him here. I will also point out, Judge, that in addition to the probable cause affidavit, there was no evidence of flight, no evidence of resistance at the time when law enforcement contacted him. There's no firearms. They seized the passport. He has no travel documents at this point in time. I've gone through the priors with the state prior to coming in today, Judge. I don't think there's any failure to appear, and I don't think there's any violations of probation. He can comport with whatever conditions are set by the court. We're asking for a bond somewhere in the neighborhood of $60,000 to $75,000, Judge.
Let me ask.
And, Your Honor, I just want to be clear. He does have some failures to appear, but with respect to counsel, I was here when he was speaking to my assistant about his record, and it wasn't ever brought up, so it's not, I don't want to make it seem like there's any misrepresentation. It was never discussed.
Thank you.
Okay.
He did have some failure to appear arrests. He had a domestic violence battery at a Palm Beach in 2005. He had a carry and concealed firearm and robbery with a deadly weapon out of Broward from 91. He had a DUI in Broward in 98.
Steve, let me
End of
ask you,
record, Judge. Yeah.
What do you think about bond? I mean,
Your Honor-
it's a large amount of cocaine. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I don't know what the street level
Well,
value would be.
normally, Your Honor, what we see, and this is forgiven for inflation, but we've seen cases before where there's undercover deals, and normally the price is about $25,000 or so, give or take, per kilo. So it would seem that the approximate street value, if you're selling as a whole, obviously if you break it up into, it could sell for more, but $50,000 for 2 kilos. Additionally, Your Honor, and I understand counsel's presented mitigating factors to the court to consider. I would just ask the court also to consider when setting what the court deems to be an appropriate bond, balancing obviously the money value of the alleged drugs, that even though Mr. Bullies does have some priors, a very serious prior, violent prior in his past, but even without those priors, he's facing a 15-year minimum mandatory prison sentence if convicted of this offense.
Agree that with Mr. Schumacher, the bond should be reduced significantly. The court will set his bond today based on the amount of cocaine involved, the weight of the cocaine, prior robbery, DUI, carrying concealed firearm at $75,000 today.
Very good,
Right?
Judge. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Right, ready to go on.
You're done. Which my bond is set at? 75.
Let me call down.
7,500 to a bond.
Can I get the Lord? Can I get Mr. Can I get Officer? Let me get you out of here.
Hi, Judge Guy Seligman on Sands, S-A-N-Z, Noel Sands. He was put on our PM docket. He is located on page 13.
That's me.
This morning?
I don't know if he ever made it to the morning, Your Honor.
Okay.
Bottom of 13.
I got it right here. Noel Sands. Sands.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, just give me a quick moment. You're being represented by counsel who's in the courtroom with me. You don't need to say anything. Allow your attorney to Mr. Seligman to speak on your behalf.
Hey, Noel, this is Guy looking into things. Don't say a word. Just listen to the judge, please.
Sir, you've been
Yes, sir.
charged with DUI. It says your fourth or subsequent offense. I'll get to that, whether it is or not, in a moment. Refusing to submit to DUI testing, license suspended, and unlawful speed. Now, Mr. Seligman, do you have any issue about probable cause on any of these counts today?
I haven't reviewed the probable cause affidavit. My only concern is whether, in fact, this qualifies as a fourth. I thought it was a third, but in either case, he'd still be eligible for bail.
I agree. Let me just look at his driving record right here.
Yeah, I think
Looks like he's got an expired driver's license from 2009.
that's permanently.
Firm revoke?
I think so. I'm not entirely sure.
Permanently revoked.
There you go.
Hillsborough County, 2008. He has a prior refusal, so there is probable cause on count 2. Permanently revoked, 4 more DUIs. May 13, 2008, Hillsborough County.
To be a fourth. This actually would be a.
I'm going to look at his driving record right now. 1993, conviction for DUI, Broward County. DUI conviction, 1996, Dade County. DUI, 1999, Broward County.
So if I understand the court correctly, he's not had a DUI-related offense for more than 15 years.
No, 2008, he had another DUI.
Okay.
So it looks like he's been 1, 2, 3, 4 DUIs. And I might note that, let me just look at something here. He has,
Judge, special thanks to the court's public defender for sharing the probable cause with me. Thank you.
hold on one moment, let me get this. Let me just look at something I think that's relevant here. Permanently revoked, 5/13/2008. You know what? Let me put it this way. He was arrested for the DUI in 2006, but it took about 2 years for him to get convicted of it. And that was out of Hillsborough County. Okay, so we have a man, he's got his driving with a permanently revoked license, gets his, I guess this is his 5th DUI.
Yes, it would appear this.
Okay, so,
Well,
Mr. Seligman, is there anything you'd like to say at this time?
I think he's appropriate for bail if the court wants an opportunity to have a tracker on him. He does do work in the paving industry throughout Broward County.
Right.
He has drivers who bring him around. His wife asked me to come down here today and at least try to request reasonable bail on his behalf with any conditions the court deems appropriate.
Okay. Now, State, do you have any comment? The court, I'm going to say, Mr. Seligman, you're a fine attorney, and I know you're going to be representing him well. I know you know what you're doing, but that being said, in any event, today the court's very concerned about the safety of the community. And that's one factor the court has to consider is, does this defendant represent a danger to the community? He's already got a permanently revoked driver's license, meaning he's not allowed to operate any motor vehicle under any circumstance. And now we have him allegedly driving through Wilton Manors, running into medians or running into curbs, driving recklessly, 20 miles per hour over the speed limit. And his DUI convictions are, he's driven multiple times, I can see from his driving record, on a suspended license. So the concern is when he's told not to drive, he's continued to drive. I look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times he's been convicted of driving on a suspended license. So the court lacks a lot of confidence.
May I suggest that if the court were to consider, with whatever reasonable bail, the conditions of electronic monitoring or GPS, the court might have an opportunity to be able to know that he's going to work, that he's going to home, and nowhere else in the meantime. It is simply a DUI charge, and there is essentially no Arthur hearing requirements to be held no bond. I would address the court's concerns with those caveats and say that you've got a lot of tools electronically and otherwise at the court's disposal if you're willing to consider them.
And the court will consider those. But the court is just, we know that a lot of times, and I've been in private practice, prosecutor, I know you have, and, there are a lot of people who get a DUI and then the rest of their lives they don't drink and don't then drive, and it's a learning experience. But the court is especially concerned, based on this court's 20-some-odd years of being in the legal business around criminal law, that someone with this many DUIs, we had someone with 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 in the last few days, that it's like a ticking time bomb. That this person eventually is going to go out and T-bone someone's family at an intersection, and it concerns the court.
Without any type of supervision like we're talking, I think the court's concerns are well-founded. And that's why I'm suggesting we've got several types of electronic supervision that may be available that may be able to address some of the court's concerns. And I'd ask that those be induced.
Your Honor, first off, the most recent criminal case Mr. Sands had, is a 2011 driving on a permanently revoked suspension. And he went through mental health court for years. And he finally had his competency restored. And he just played out his case in front of Judge Destry April 30th of this year. So now, after going through that whole process and then resolving the case, 2 months later, he's back behind the wheel again. As you can see, Your Honor, you have his driving record, just how many DWLSs of one form or another he has.
Right.
He has shown an unwillingness to listen to courts and not get behind the wheel. My concern about why, in Mr. Sands' situation, that electronic monitoring really doesn't give the peace of mind that I believe the court is hoping for is the electronic monitor will certainly tell pretrial if Mr. Sands is in a car, but it will not tell pretrial if he's behind the wheel or if he's in the passenger seat. And that's really the concern here. It's when Mr. Sands gets behind the wheel against the law.
Understand. So today the court's going to set your bond based on this court's great concern for the safety of the community. Your 4 prior DUIs, recently licensed, suspended, felony in front of Judge Destry. Count one will be $25,000, two $100, three $750. You'll have pretrial release, a GPS monitor, and the court will order that you are not allowed to operate a motor vehicle under any circumstance. You're not allowed to consume any alcoholic beverage, and that's it.
Thank you for your consideration, Your Honor.
Pretrial release, GPS monitor.
$25,850.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a seat, sir. Outside.
Okay, now we've got our handy former submariner here. Let me ask you, sir, how long? And I was not in the submarine Navy. I was in the surface Navy. But how long is the longest unless it's classified, were you underwater?
1 day, Judge.
That's it?
That's it. And then I transferred to the aircraft carrier.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, you know what? You weren't a submariner, were you?
No.
You were a nuclear guy.
Yes.
Okay, I got it confused. You were in the nuclear Navy. Okay, so here you go. Okay, we've got a few here, so let me pull them up.
My days of therapy that I don't have to go
Mr.
to.
Shader here.
I think this weekend.
I don't think I could have been stuck in a tube like that all that long.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I know, there always are. Well, I don't have any.
Yes.
Some of these guys are what they call frequent flyers. I guess that's what they call them.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, okay, so let me just pull out do we know which one are Hollywood?
Yes, Judge. Hollywood has two. That would be Joseph Carlin and
I think that was all we needed to hear.
Okay, let me.
All right, so yeah, I guess keep me posted on
But
that one.
you know what? It doesn't matter to me. I get confused between. which
I'm
process.
handling both Hollywood and Fort Lauderdale.
Let's do Fort Lauderdale. I'll do Fort Lauderdale.
I've got a bunch, Judge. That's why.
It doesn't matter. He's getting paid by the hour too. So.
I'm on salary.
Tell you. Here we go.
I'll have you.
All right, John Guyton.
PG rating.
North Broward.
Your Honor, I'm Andrew Lane, City of Hollywood, standing in for Fort Lauderdale. I've spoken to the Fort Lauderdale attorneys, and I have an offer for Mr. Guyton.
Go ahead. What's that?
They would be, he has many priors. The offer is an adjudication in 60 days of marriage.
Okay, Mr. Guyton, sir, the offer today. Well, let me ask the. I know that he qualifies for public defender.
Yes.
Mr. Guyton, I'm going to give you an attorney today. I'm going to appoint Mr. McLawrence to represent you. Now, Mr. McLawrence, your client has been in and out of here a bunch of times. He's, for lack of a better word, chronic as far as getting arrested at the same location. Federal Highway at 17th Street Causeway. There's a bunch of men who roam that intersection daily, panhandling, drinking beer, and it's, from what I hear, it's an ongoing problem. Mr. Guyton's in and out of here. I've actually asked Mr. Guyton, when I've resolved other cases, to stop doing it. I said, Mr. Guyton, look, we'll work it out today, time served. Just don't do it anymore. Yes, Judge, I won't do it anymore, and goes right out and does it. So,
Well, Judge, I'm familiar with Mr. Guyton. There's no alcohol involved in this particular case, Your Honor.
Yeah.
And 60 days is the maximum sentence that he could possibly serve on this type of offense. Judge, I would just ask if the court were willing to perhaps make it a 20 days or a 30-day sentence and see if Mr. Guyton would be willing to accept that rather than 60 days.
I'll do it this way. I'll come down to 45. If he takes 45, I mean, he's not motivated to take 60 because he could go to trial and just losing at 60. So I'll bring it down to 45. He wants to do 45 days. I'll adjudicate him guilty, send him 45 days in the Broward County Jail. Is that, you want to ask him whether...
He's in North Broward, Judge. I didn't have an opportunity to speak with him.
Let me ask you, Mr. Guyton, is that something you'd be interested in, or do you want me to just give you a bond and you go before your trial judge with your attorney? You may get a better deal over there.
I would be willing to take the 45 days. I'd like to ask Your Honor if he would consider. I believe I have one other notice to appear that's open right now. If we could maybe run them together.
Well, here's the thing. I'll let your attorney go work on that. I'm sure the next judge will run them together. I don't think that's a big problem. These are both municipal ordinance cases. Sir, if you want to plead no contest today, you'll receive an adjudication of guilt, 45 days in the Broward County Jail, credit for any, I guess, maybe a night or two you've been in jail now, and you'll be assessed minimal court cost and minimal fine. And I'll order that you are not allowed to panhandle. Well, obviously you're not allowed to panhandle in the city of Fort Lauderdale, but within 500 feet of the intersection of 17th Street Causeway and US 1. Now, that being said, is that something you'd be interested in today, sir?
Yes, I think it'd be in my best interest, Your Honor.
Okay. Is there any reason, Mr. McLaurin, that we shouldn't proceed with the plea at this time?
Just for the record, Judge, I did research his name to see if he was on probation anywhere. I did not see anything, so I do not know of any reason why he should not proceed.
Mr. Guyton, how do you plead to this charge, sir?
No contest, Your Honor.
Sir, I'll accept that. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. I'm going to give you 45 days, Broward County Jail, and I will give you credit for the, I guess, a night or two he's been in, adjudication, and court cost, minimal fine. Thank you very much, sir. I signed that.
Okay, sir. Does that not, just one quick question, does that not include the other notice?
No. That is something that you're going to have to work out with your next judge, all right?
Okay.
I signed an order appointment. I did? Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. McLaurin.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Guy.
Okay, the next one we have is Brandon Burrows.
Yes.
Main jail.
Mr. Burrows, possession of
Yes,
cannabis.
Yeah, I've spoken to Fort Lauderdale city attorneys, and the offer for Mr. Burrows is adjudication credit for any and all time served in Broward County.
Okay, have you had a chance to speak with Mr. Burrows?
No, Judge, but I do have, I was going to request that if the court would be so inclined to give him a withhold, because I don't want him to get the adjudication and lose his license or his ability to drive. He doesn't have an extensive record.
Understand. So would you be interested in pleading no contest today? The case will be over with today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you understand we're not going to have a trial. No more time to speak with your attorney. It's over with right now. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. How do you plead?
No contest.
I'll withhold adjudication, sir. Thank you. Good luck. Okay, now.
Good.
That's Hollywood.
Jeffrey Kuntz on page 10, Judge. He's got a combination case.
Okay, Mr. Kuntz, where are you, sir?
Mr. Kuntz? Jeffrey Kuntz? Come on, man.
Mr. Kuntz, you've been charged with municipal ordinance count 1, drinking in public. Count 2 is a warrant on a theft charge, which is a state case. So count 2 is going to be $500. Now, as far as the municipal ordinance goes, sir, are you currently employed?
No, sir.
Do you have any money in the
No.
How long have you been here in South Florida?
Since April.
April. What'd you come to South Florida for?
Came down to look for a job.
Okay.
Why change location, that's all.
Got it. Okay. Well, I'm going to let you bond out on count 2. Count 1. So would you like me to appoint an attorney to represent you on count 1?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to set your bond at $25. I'm going to appoint Mr. McLaurin on that, all right?
There's an offer from the city on count 1.
Offer.
It would be adjudication for credit time served.
Sir, count 1, if you want to work out count 1, the alcohol case, you plead no contest, that's over with. But then you still have count 2 you have to deal with, all right?
I could do that.
Okay. How do
Count
you
1, I plead no contest. No contest.
Do you understand we're not going to have a trial? We're not going to have, you're not going to have your day in court. It's over with right now? You clear about that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'll withhold adjudication on 1. That is Mr. Kuntz.
Here. Are you going to?
Okay, Mr. Lawrence, I'm appointing you on Kuntz. Now, how about, are there any city of Fort Lauderdale's left?
Yes, Judge. There's a Nicholas Hardin.
We need to call Spanish.
Is he a Spanish person?
No, but Ortega is.
Okay.
Okay. So which one of these is,
Nicholas Harding is Fort Lauderdale, Judge.
Harding is Fort Lauderdale?
Yes. And then Katie Peterson's also Fort Lauderdale and also said to be heard today.
Is she on the second look?
I don't know, Judge.
All right.
I have no idea.
Nicholas Harding, sir, you're here for a theft municipal ordinance case. Why did I roll this over? Does anyone know?
I don't know.
Judge, he was originally reset from yesterday morning, but he didn't make the afternoon docket, so you brought him back.
Mr. Harding, sir, are you currently, you've been charged with theft. Are you currently employed,
Yes.
sir?
No, sir.
Do you have any money in the bank?
No, sir.
When was the last time you were employed?
About 3 weeks ago.
What type of work was that?
That was telemarketing. Before that, I was waiting tables.
Now, do you have any money available to bond out with?
None, sir.
Do you have any money available to hire an attorney with?
No, sir.
Okay. Sir, I think it's in your best interest that I appoint an attorney for you today, all right?
Is there any way I can just do jail time and get this over with, sir?
Maybe.
I have an offer, Judge, from the City of Fort Lauderdale. That would be a adjudication, 30 days Broward County Jail, and no return.
Do you know what he allegedly stole? Does anybody know? I don't know what he allegedly took. Don't say anything, sir. You know what? There could be an issue of.
I think he's on probation.
Is he?
As well, I think so.
So I'm not going to work it out today.
Well, wait, Judge, he does have a, he was on probation, it looks like in front of Judge Destry. The case was 11-015-179 CF-10A. And back in 2013, May 16th of 2013, that probation was converted to community control. And it says it had an end date of April 7th, 2014. So I'm not sure if he's done with probation.
Still on probation or parole right now?
No, I'm on neither. I completed probation.
Okay. No community control, that's over with also?
Yep, all completed.
Well, here's the thing. There may be a restitution issue I don't know about. That's the only thing.
I spoke to Fort Lauderdale. They did not indicate to me there was any restitution required. As such, I'm not asking for it.
And if there's no restitution, Judge, I would ask if the court would be so inclined to give him some less days in jail. And this would be his second petty theft, Judge. That he needs to also know that the third one will be a felony.
What was the first one? Do we know? Do we know when the first petty theft was?
2011, Judge.
2011. What was he on probation for? Do we know?
It was for dealing in stolen property.
Wow. He keeps collecting these, huh?
He has a quite extensive background.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to set his bond at $100. I appointed Mr. McLawrence. Sure, you can bond out. Thank you. $100.
Good luck.
Right up the middle.
Okay, what about
And I have
anyone else from the city of Fort Lauderdale?
Yes, Judge. There's a Katie Peterson.
North Broward, I think.
It's not on the second look, though. So, let me find Miss Peterson here. Hold on one moment.
Judge, before you let the Fort Lauderdale prosecutor get too far away, we've got the misdemeanor Fritz Walter.
Okay.
We're going to try and work something out with him.
I got it. We'll do that. How about Katie Peterson?
North Broward.
Burroughs? There you go. Katie Peterson?
Oh, Your Honor, Peterson is a medical reset.
Okay. I'm going to reset Peterson. You know what? The truth is it's actually better that I just send her right to her division. Oh, wait.
She's got a pending violation of probation, Your Honor.
Yeah, so count 1, the bond's could be 1,000. Count 2, 250, and count 2 is trespassing. Count 3, violation of parole. She's on parole for fraudulent ID. So I don't know if she qualifies for a public defender. What I'll do is I'll just send it right to the division if, you know.
Judge, since she's not been able to talk to us, can we go ahead and have the public defender provisionally appointed? She's got 2 state cases on that docket.
Yeah, I'll do that. Hold on one moment. Let me look at something here. She's unemployed. I mean, I don't know if she could hire her own attorney or not. Why don't we do this? I'm going to send it to the division. And if the division wants to appoint an attorney, do you see why, any reason why legally I could appoint an attorney at this time?
Judge, all I know is from, you know, I would think that she would be entitled to an attorney even at this point, Judge. She's in custody. She has no means of, she's not working. She has no means of affording an attorney.
Well, we don't know without talking to her if she has no means of affording an attorney. That's it. Judge, we don't know if she's indigent or not. She might be hiring an attorney right now. I'm
going to do this. I'm going to set her bond $1,250 total. She's got no bond on count 4. Once she gets to the division, if they want to appoint you, she has no money, I'll do that. But I'm not going to just, you know, appoint before I find that out. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
So,
just the court could professionally appoint. If she hires her own attorney in the interim, we could withdraw. On the felony? Okay, I thought, okay. All right.
So we are appointed on the felony?
Yes.
Roger that.
Now, how about, is there anything else, City of Fort Lauderdale?
Judge, I see a Fritz Walter, and there's also a William Schutz, but I'm not sure if those are municipal ordinance cases or not.
Schutz is a medical reset, Judge, on page 8. I think he's a state case.
Where's Fritz Walter?
President of Maine, and that is definitely a state case.
Why did I reset Mr.
So,
Walter?
just to refresh the court's memory, Mr. Walter came through a couple of times on the sleeping on the beach. Then he got one. He was resisting
Across the police line.
He tried to cross. He was getting too close to the yellow line for the police. Then the day he gets out on that, he goes to the 7-Eleven that he's been trespassed from, and he allegedly didn't leave. His story is that he just tried to get some food, and they arrested him. At some time ago, the city of Fort Lauderdale had offered Mr. Walter a bus ticket, and now he's trying to see if that offer is still open. I'd like to go home.
I don't know that it's open, but what I'm going to do is we don't have a City of Fort Lauderdale prosecutor. Do you know, is Laundry going to be in tomorrow?
There's going to be somebody covering bond court tomorrow, not me. I think it's
I can resolve it right now.
somebody with their office, but not, you know, or not.
No?
So somebody will be here for Fort Lauderdale, but not me, you know, or not.
Okay. All right, sir, I'm going to set your bond at $100. I'm going to send this off to the division. Thank you.
So what now?
Here you go. Now. Oh boy, how's it going? Good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we can't do Ortega right now because we need a Spanish interpreter. How about Mr. Carlin? Mr. Carlin, where are you, sir? Joseph Carlin.
Main jail.
Mr. Carlin, sir, you've been charged with sleeping on the beach. Let me ask you something, sir. I think it's sleeping on the beach.
No, I was sitting on a park bench.
Okay.
I'm sorry, bus bench.
So do you have any money in the bank?
I have nothing. I have nothing at all. I will make up whatever. I have a job I'm trying to keep. I will do whatever I got to do.
Do you have any money available to hire an attorney with?
No, I do not.
Okay. Now,
Judge, the offer is just going to be a withhold court costs, credit for time served.
okay. Mr. Let me ask you something. Mr. Does he have any record?
No, I couldn't find anything significant. So, to my knowledge, Judge, no.
Never had nothing like this. It was at a park, a bus bench. Nothing.
Well, sir, you know, if you've never been in trouble before and you wanted to take this to have a trial on it, you could do that. I mean, you know.
I know, but right now I am stuck here, and I'm going to lose my job, and I need to get myself back to work. I'm looking at my livelihood.
RORing him, Judge, and just we can set a court date.
So that seems like the best idea is to ROR him.
You live at the homeless shelter down there, right?
I'm in the process of moving now. I just started a new job, and I'm moving from. That's just my mailing address.
I'm going to release you ROR, but I'm going to appoint Mr. Shade to represent you, all right? Shade, I'm going to appoint you, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, so I have another court date?
Yeah, it's going to go to that 220 Scott Street, all right?
Yes, no problem.
Thank you. How about Jared McKell?
Hey, excuse me, the address is 2020.
Right.
2020.
I saw that.
Okay. Okay, no, you said 220, excuse me.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, Jared,
Jerry?
Lizzie. So resisting arrest count 1. You have a municipal ordinance case on 2 and 3. Court finds probable cause. Sir, do we have any priors on McAleese? McAleese, are you working at this time?
Just off and on, odd jobs.
Do you have any money in the bank?
No, sir.
Okay, how long have you been down here in South Florida?
8 years.
Okay. And do we have any priors on McAleese?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is, let me see here, routine patrol on the beach in Hollywood. Several subjects on the Broadwalk. Sitting on a wall. I know exactly where this is. One of the subjects hit a large bottle of open bottle of vodka. It says this defendant yelled, "I'm not effing going anywhere." He was intoxicated, slurring his words. It says he was told numerous times to leave the area. He kept saying "F you" to the police. He was yelling and being loud. He says this is an ongoing problem down there in Hollywood with this defendant and several other men drinking and causing a problem down there. So, anything from you, Mr.
Yes, Judge. The offer will be adjudication costs, 25 days for our attorney jail.
Okay, does he have prior state?
96 shoplifting out of Palm Beach, 96 burglary dwelling.
Anything else?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything recent in the last couple of years?
2004 Volusia, domestic violence battery. 2005 out of Daytona, domestic violence battery. Contempt of court, domestic. 2007 out of Daytona. He had other priors in 2014 that were dropped.
So the offer from, let me ask Mr. Shade. Yes, Judge. Sir, would you like me to appoint an attorney to represent you today, a special public defender? Excuse me, sir? I can't hear you.
Yeah. He's trying to take the plea, Judge.
Well, we're not. Sir, do you want me to appoint an attorney to represent you?
No, sir.
Okay, sir, you, the offer, I guess, from the city on the MO cases is 25 days in jail. Would you want to take that, or you could, I could set a bond and you could bond out and then come back to court and maybe have a trial? What would you like to do?
I don't have the money to bond out, sir. I'll just take the time.
Okay.
Judge, does this include both cases?
The state would make the same offer concurrent.
The state makes the same offer on count 1, sir. If you plead out right now, you want to plead no contest, the court would adjudicate you, give you minimum court cost, minimal fine, 25 days in jail, credit for the time you've been in jail. The court would order that, I'm going to give you a 1-year ban from coming within 100 feet of the Hollywood Broadwalk. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. Is that something you'd be interested in?
I don't know about the 100 feet ban, but the rest of it's fine.
Well, ongoing problem down there, and it's probably best for the people down there that you're not down there drinking with the other men. So, you want to take that, sir?
Yes.
Okay, let me ask, Mr. Shea, is there any reason why you think we can't proceed with this plea at this time?
Judge, my only problem with him taking this plea is if he's unhappy with that one part of the 1-year ban from the Hollywood Boardwalk, we might be able to do something different in his division.
Maybe.
Not to undermine this court, but that may be something that the other courts don't look
It could
for.
be. And if he wants me to set a bond on the other cases and let him go before his trial judge, I can do that. Or, do you want me to set a bond for you, let you have an attorney, let the attorney go to the other judge and work that out?
So you'll probably be coming to court within closer than 25 days, and we might be able to get a better offer for you if that's what you're looking for. They might not require you to stay away from the Hollywood Boardwalk. I can't promise you that, but that might happen.
Be here that long anyway, because I don't have no bond.
One moment, Judge.
Come on, sir. We threw two clear options there. 25 days or a bond. I'm going to go ahead and set a bond.
It seems to me the public defender's office is conveying legal advice to one of the Hollywood defendants, Judge.
Well, he does have a state on count 1. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set his bond on count 2 and 3 at $100. All right. Total bond.
Judge.
Yes, sir.
Can you go ahead and appoint the public defender on count 1?
Count 1, public defender. 2 and 3. Shade is appointed. So your bond's $300. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you in court. We'll get you in there as soon as possible.
Yeah, also there's one of them.
Call the Spanish for Spanish. Can you hold on a moment?
Ortiz?
Yeah.
Sure. Ortega.
Look at the next page.
Come on up.
Michael. Do you know the last name? What was the last name?
Gaspar.
I don't see it on the doc.
It's the second domestic or third, I don't know.
Okay, may I see Michael Gaspar? How's that, Mr. Shea? You okay?
I'm okay. Yeah, not bad.
I knew you played soccer. You got something
Yeah.
injured there. All right.
It's working out.
Yeah. Domestic battery by strangulation. Mr. Gaspar, you've been charged with domestic battery by strangulation. The court finds probable cause.
I want to take that to court.
Okay.
Steve, do we have any inquiries on this gentleman?
He was picked up a month ago May 9th in Georgia for possession of marijuana. Let's see what else. Possession of Schedule 2 controlled substance, 2010 in Boca. Possession of drug paraphernalia, 2012 in Palm Beach. End of record.
So, Judge, just so we're clear, this is not his second or third domestic.
No, sir, I don't think so.
This is the first.
Okay. Now, ma'am, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, all truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, put your hand out. Tell me your name.
My name is Sarah Zalitas.
Last name?
Zalitas.
Zalitas? Ma'am, how do you know Mr. Gaspar?
We have been dating off and on
Okay, how long have you known him?
since December of 2014.
Okay, and what does he do for work, do you know?
Yeah, he's an electrician and he also mounts TVs and he does a lot of other side work.
Okay, and does he, how long has he lived down here in Hollywood?
He doesn't live in Hollywood, he lives in Pompano. But as far as I recall, a couple of years, a year or two maybe.
Years, and does he own his own home or own a condo or anything?
He has his own place. I'm not really sure what the situation is, but.
And, all right. else? No? Mr. Miller, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, Judge, he's got strong family ties. He does have some money in the bank, not a whole lot. He does have a place to stay separate from the alleged victim while this case is pending.
Name it says right here in Polk Street in Hollywood, 8:39 in the evening. This is, okay. Units responded to the address in which the victim, Sarah Zaletes, stated her ex-boyfriend, Michael Gasper, placed his hands around her neck to the point where she was partially unable to breathe. After the arrestee began drinking, he became irate and left the residence, but he returned to the residence, began hitting her vehicle with his hands, and then the arrestee opened the victim's door, placed his hand around her neck. It says she shoved him off of her and sustained a small laceration to her inner right wrist. The arrestee fled the area, and the victim had a small red mark on the left side of her neck, along with a small laceration on her right inner wrist. Anything you want to add, ma'am? Anything you want to say?
Yes, Your Honor. I've never had Michael Gasper to be a very violent person, but I do believe that he does have a drug issue that these issues are related to his use of drugs.
What type of drugs do you think he's using?
I don't believe he intentionally knows that when I took him to the hospital on Monday and they said that he had some flocka and bath salts in his system, but he was buying marijuana from other people that they laced with the marijuana with other stuff. So I believe that it is something related to a drug issue because I've never seen him like that.
Okay. Were you concerned for your safety?
I'm not concerned for my safety, no.
Now?
No, I'm not.
Okay. What about your marks? Do you still have marks on your neck?
My neck, no. But my wrist was bleeding, but that's only from
Could you come up here real quick?
Yeah. The crime scene came out and took pictures.
Now, what's that from?
Just between everything with the wrestling around and stuff.
Well, no, if he's saying he bought it,
Okay.
my point is.
Did you have to go to the hospital? No? Okay. All right. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Just a couple things. First, I just want to put on the record, Your Honor, what Mr. Miller heard. You asked what case this was, and I said this is the second or third case on the domestic docket. I wasn't saying that it was the second or third case.
So,
also, Your Honor, and this is and I certainly understand where Ms. Zaletis is coming from. As far as I don't know if I'm certain that he just bought some marijuana that was unknowingly laced with flocka. One thing I can tell you, in talking to deputies and detectives, one thing I've learned, there's a distinctly different smell when smoking marijuana or flocka, and if someone's smoking marijuana, they would know from the smell that there's something else added to it.
I understand. Sir, the court's going to set your bond at $7,500 based on your criminal record, the level of violence. Court's concerned for the alleged victim, Ms. Sarah Zaletes. The court will order you, sir, not to have any contact with her. Don't call her, don't text her, don't email her. Stay 500 feet from her at all times. That is where she lives, where she works, where she goes to school, anywhere in between. You're not allowed to possess any guns, any weapons, any firearms at any time while you're on release. Ms. Zaletes, is there anything else you need to tell us about or you want to talk about today?
No. No, Your Honor.
Thanks for coming to court. Okay? Thank you.
I would ask the court to reconsider the bond. We have no violent priors. We have what appears to be an isolated incident. He's got a job. He's got strong ties to the community. Can we get free trial? He'll take level 2 with GPS and drug treatment instead of the high bond.
No, the court's ruled. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Anna Mendez. All right. Now, Miss, Is this for Anna Mendez?
Yes.
Okay. Ma'am, domestic battery, the court finds probable cause. State, do we have any criminal record on Miss Anna Mendez?
No, Your Honor.
No,
No?
Judge.
She has no criminal record. All right, sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Put your hand out. Tell me your name.
My name is Luis Cuellar. Cuellar.
Okay, and how do you know Miss Mendez?
She's my girlfriend.
How long has she been your girlfriend?
We've been dating for about 6 months now.
Does she have any children with
No,
you?
she does not.
Okay, and any children?
No,
No?
no
Okay.
children.
What does she do for work?
She works for, she's a claims adjuster. She works for assurance.
Okay. And do you know David Perez Garcia?
Not personally, I just know that there's an ongoing domestic situation between the defendant, my girlfriend, and her ex-husband-to-be.
Okay. Do you have any contact with the alleged victim?
I did. He's not in here for his
Go ahead,
safety and
State.
does not want charges.
Well, Your Honor, as far as bond, I'll leave it in the court's discretion. I just asked, I think it's probably in everyone's best interest for a no contact
Yeah,
order.
let me just say this. I read this earlier, and I thought this man was scratching up her car or somebody's car she was in charge of.
It was my car, actually.
Your car. The man starts scratching the car up, and she smacked him in the face. I mean, and then he calls the police and claim. I mean, you know.
The
I don't know.
the way I have it understood, may it please the court, Your Honor, is that, like I said, this has been an ongoing situation, and he's been instigating her. She finally had enough. The last stunt that he pulled, he took her dogs away from dog daycare where she had them with false pretenses, without her permission.
I wondered why he didn't get arrested for criminal mischief.
That's the first thing I asked the deputy.
I'm guessing.
Wait.
I'm guessing because they didn't have contact with the owner of the vehicles.
Right. Okay, ma'am, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance today.
Thank you.
I'm not going to sign an order for you to stay away from him, but I'm just going to strongly suggest you don't have any contact with your soon-to-be ex-husband. Just maybe over the telephone, if you can do that and stay civil, but just probably stay clear of him is probably the best way to go, all right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When you make those stops.
Cherie Morris.
You just.
Paul Ryan, Judge.
Paul Ryan, Your Honor.
Ms. Morris. Ma'am, you're here for domestic battery, and the court finds probable cause. Ms. Morris has been reset a couple times. State, do we have any priors on Ms. Morris?
1 moment, Judge.
Is that for?
I'll check. I got it. Yeah, counts 2 and 3 are no bond holds. Possession of cocaine, PVP.
Okay, so today we're here. Hit him across the face with a half-empty beer can, laceration to his face. Ma'am, I'm going to set your bond today at $3,500. You're already being held without bond on some other charges. I'm going to order, ma'am, you have no contact directly or indirectly with Casey Johnson. Don't call Casey Johnson. Do not have any contact with him directly or indirectly. Thank you. Now the next person is Casey Johnson.
Medical reset.
Okay. I'm going to reset Casey Johnson for Thursday, PM docket.
That's a copy of it anyways. I want to work. Me and I will have to have a system now. While you were out.
Angela Ote.
Bonded.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Tia Escoffery.
Bonded. Caruso.
This was for doing tomorrow. I'll put a whole day.
What was the most in a row we ever had for people bonding? 7 in a row.
You haven't been able to reach
7 people in a row who bonded. It's been like 5 years.
Jeez. What did we do with Leahy? Did we reset it for tomorrow?
I mean, in the last 3 years we've had like 4.
Is it
All right.
for the afternoon? Yeah.
Jonathan Caruso, trespassing, Mr. Caruso.
This is how
Finds
things
probable cause.
end up getting fallen.
State,
Judge, Mr. Caruso is interested in resolving the case if the court is so inclined.
I know.
Literally, Birch Road. Camped out near the property. Makeshift beds, clothes. Trespass warned several times by the police. Okay, so. Steve, do you have any priors on him?
1 moment.
Mr. Crusoe, how long have you lived down here in South Florida?
2012.
Okay.
2011.
Now you're homeless right now, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you have anywhere to go when you get out of jail?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Steve.
He has priors, but he hasn't been arrested in Broward in about a
So would you like to plead no contest to the case, get it over with today? The case is wrapped up.
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't have to come back. How do you plead, sir?
No contest.
I'll withhold adjudication. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
How about Jeffrey
Charles
Mullins?
Jeffrey Mullins. President of Maine.
Mullins.
Yes, sir.
You, sir, trespassing. Court finds probable cause you allegedly were camping out with the last gentleman. Sir, would you like to...
Yes, I'd like to resolve, Your Honor.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Jeffrey Mullins, trespassing, sir. Would you like to resolve it today?
Resolve, Your Honor.
Do you understand we're not going to have a trial? It's over with right now?
Right.
How do you plead?
No contest.
I'll withhold adjudication. Thank you. Donovan Newbold, William Schutz, and Frank Hurst.
Newbold is a bond. Schutz is a medical reset. Frank Hurst is president of the Maine. He will resolve if the court is so inclined.
Okay. Bonded. Schutz, Thursday PM. There you go. How about Frank Hurst?
President of Maine.
Sir, no driver's license. Give me a quick moment, Mr. Hurst. Oops. Okay, Mr. Hurst, no driver's license, and you caught driving twice this year, and now you're back. Okay, sir, your bond's $250. Thank you.
What's her name?
Call
for an interpreter.
Did you call Spanish, ma'am? Did you call Spanish? You did? Okay. Yeah. Do you mind calling Spanish? All right. Ricky Brown to Shannon Stubbs.
North Broward.
Gregory Turner.
Ricky Brown to North Broward.
Ricky Brown. Sir, trespassing. Court finds probable cause. Ricky Brown, Walgreens. So would you like to resolve your case today, Mr. Brown?
Yeah.
You could plead no contest. Your case will be over with today. Do you understand that?
No contest.
Do you understand we're not going to have a trial? We're not going to appoint an attorney. It's over with right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll accept your plea. I'll withhold adjudication. Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Thank you.
How about the Shannon Stubbs?
Main jail.
Stubbs, your bond has been posted. You'll be out of jail shortly.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Gregory Turner.
2,500.
Judge, Mr. Turner has private counsel. Who's apparently aware of his arrest.
Sort of short barrel shotgun. Did we figure out, does he have parts?
Your Honor, we went over all that this morning. We were going to put a $2,500 bond.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sir, your bond's $2,500. Jason Foreman was in here for you this morning. Thank you.
Do you have Mr. Foreman's number, Mr. Linder?
I don't have it.
I don't have it, but I mean, he was here this morning. We discussed all this, but the paperwork wasn't here.
Sir, you're not allowed to possess the guns or weapons while you're on release.
And
okay?
There was a bondsman here this afternoon
sir.
that I spoke to. He's
Wait,
aware.
we've got his number. Hold on. What's his number?
954
954
648
648
6644
6644. Jason Foreman.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
How about Mike Etienne?
Main jail.
Kelvin Melendez Rodriguez and Randy Bass.
Okay, so Judge, Melendez Rodriguez is declined the PD. He's a Spanish language. Also, Michael Carmona declined PD. He's Spanish language as well.
Okay, well, let's deal with Mike Etienne.
This is Mr. Etienne, Judge.
Mr. Etienne, probation violation count 1, reckless driving, 100 on count 2. How about Randy Bass?
Judge, is reckless driving a traffic criminal or an
It's
infraction?
traffic criminal. It's a misdemeanor. Yep. Well, all right. May I see Randy Bass? Mr. Bass, possession of PVP, also known as FLACA. Court finds probable cause, state revenue priors.
Yes, Judge. His priors include cocaine from 2012. And then other than that, multiple possessions of marijuana, a theft from the late 90s. That's all I see as far as Broward County, Judge.
Okay. Sir, are you currently employed?
Judge, Mr. Bass works as an auto detailer. He's got 3 children that he takes care of, age 5, 9, and 14. He is a lifetime resident of Broward County, has strong family ties. Unfortunately, he has no money in the bank or real estate and no one to help bond him out.
Okay. So I'm going to set your bond at $1,000 based on your criminal record, the facts of the case. Thank you.
Judge, can we get a SAP order for Mr.
I'll
Bass?
order that. I'll order
Thank
SAP.
you. Okay, you have to request it.
How about Michael Carmona, Edward Wiggins, Warwick Higgins, and Frank Vieira?
So Carmona has declined the PD and is a Spanish language defendant. Wiggins is in North Broward.
Okay. Edward Wiggins.
North Broward.
Sir, carrying concealed firearm, possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, possession of flakka, possession of cannabis, resisting arrest. State. Court finds probable cause to 1, 3, 4, 5.
One moment,
This is
Judge.
without a convicted felon.
One moment, Judge.
Sir, you currently employed?
Yes, sir. I've been working at Restoration Hardware for about 3 years. I also take care of my wife who has ovarian cancer.
Do you have any money in the bank?
No, sir. I have 2 kids and a wife I just support.
Okay, his priors include this is his 3rd arrest since June 3rd. Wiggins. He was arrested June 23rd under the name, one moment, Judge. Terrence Wiggins. Wait.
Huh?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. If I just have one moment.
I was taken to the hospital. My last arrest.
Judge, will the court 2 photo orders?
Okay. He was arrested on June 8th and posted bond for possession of cocaine, drug paraphernalia, trespass, loitering, and prowling.
June 8 for cocaine, loitering, prowling, trespass.
And paraphernalia.
Okay.
He was also arrested June 3rd.
June 9th.
For no, that was the other one. He's confusing them. He was arrested
on the 9th.
June 3rd for possession of PVP with intent to sell or deliver, drug paraphernalia, possession of marijuana.
Got it.
And now this.
What are the 2 case numbers?
The June 8th arrest is 157511 CF10A. The June 3rd arrest is 157247 CF10A.
47 CF10. All right, sir. Mr. Wiggins, I understand you have children, you need to support them, but I think right now you're on a PvP kind of run, and I think your life's kind of out of control right now. You've been arrested 3 times. Recently, in the month of June, you've been arrested 3 times. Each time is a drug charge. One is flakka, one is cocaine. Those cases are open now. This case right here, you got caught allegedly with flakka, and you're carrying a gun with you while you're doing it. So, do you have any money to bond out with, sir?
My wife has ovarian cancer. And
do you have any money to bond out with?
My rent money.
Okay. So I'm going to set your bond on count 1 at 1,000, count 2 at 2,500, count 3 based on your 3rd arrest in less than a month. I'm going to set that bond at $2,500. The cannabis, set that bond at 1,000. your ROR count 5. So your total bond today will be $7,000, and the court will revoke the bond you're out on, 157511 CF10A, 157247 CF10. You're going to be held without bond on both of those cases. Thank you, sir.
Judge, not for
Could you
nothing, but
repeat that, please?
didn't you?
I didn't understand.
Okay. As far as prior convictions, 2011, 2007, aggravated assault, a deadly weapon, 3-year state prison.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
All right.
Sorry about that. Okay. Now, how about, thank you, sir.
I completed electronic monitor for like 2
No,
years.
we're not going to do that. Warren Hagan.
Judge, we need a mental health screen for Mr. Wiggins, please.
What about Warren Hagan's?
Medical reset.
That's going to be Thursday p.m. Okay. Now, let's go to Jesus Ortega.
Good afternoon, Your
Jesus Ortega.
Will affirm to translate English to Spanish, Spanish, English, truthfully to the best of your ability.
I do. Patricia Crystal, certified court interpreter.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ortega.
Buenas tardes, señor Ortega.
¿Cómo está? Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Sir, you're charged with urinating in public.
Señor, se le acusa de orinar en la vía pública.
Do you understand?
¿Entiende usted?
Sí.
Yes.
Sir, would you like to
Tal vez sí lo acepto.
¿Cómo dice?
Sí lo acepto porque puede ser que haya sido cierto.
Yes, I do accept it because it is true.
Sir, would you like to plead no contest to this case today?
Señor, ¿le gustaría declarar que no disputa ni afirma este cargo el día de hoy?
¿Perdón?
Or would you like to plead guilty to this case today?
¿Le gustaría declarar que no disputa ni afirma este cargo hoy o le gustaría declararse culpable?
Sí, me declararía culpable.
Yes, I would plead guilty.
Okay, I have an attorney in the courtroom here. Do you need to speak with him about this matter, or can you go without speaking with a lawyer?
Tengo un abogado aquí en la sala judicial para que hable con usted acerca de este asunto, o quisiera usted seguir adelante sin la necesidad de hablar con él.
Sería bueno de hablar con él, por favor.
It would be good for me to talk to him, please.
Okay. Okay. Could somebody take him over to the phone real quick for me? Oh, yeah, you're not allowed to.
We just found that if this case could subject him to deportation. I don't think it's going to. If he's not a U.S. citizen, if he resolves it today, he'll get out today. If he doesn't want to
I'm not going to accept the plea. I'm going to set his bond at $100. I'm going to send this to the division, all right?
Señor, el abogado dice que si usted cierra este caso hoy, le podría sujetar a deportación. Él no cree que lo van a deportar, pero podría, y podría suceder en los próximos 10 días.
Y si le acepto enseguida, ¿qué pasa? ¿En qué tiempo tengo que cancelar? ¿Cuánto es la deuda?
¿Cuánto es qué, perdón?
O sea, la cantidad que tengo que pagar.
How much will the amount? How much will I have to pay?
Do you have any money in the bank, sir?
¿Tiene usted algún dinero en el banco, señor?
No, por el momento no.
No, not at the time.
Pero si es que yo me quedo a pagar, yo lo vengo a pagar, no se preocupe.
But if I promise to pay it, I will return to pay it. Don't worry about
I
it.
think you may stay in jail one more night, sir.
Creo que usted se puede quedar en la cárcel una noche más, señor.
Wait one moment.
Un momento, por favor.
Sir, Sir, you're going to be in court tomorrow morning, all right? Thank you.
Señor, usted va a ir a la sala judicial mañana por la mañana. Ok, de acuerdo.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Gracias también.
Thank you. ¿Hay alguien más que necesita los servicios de la intérprete de español? Es decir, que no habla inglés.
Judge, page 14. Kelvin Melendez Rodriguez.
I think it's, Your Honor. I want to call Carmona up also because they're co-defendants rather than going through the...
Okay. Merci, Michael Carmona. Okay.
And
See ya.
Judge, I'm not sure, but I think this is a co-defendant of Ulysses Bulies, who you said is bond earlier.
No. Carmona and Melendez Rodriguez are co-defendants of one another.
Oh, so this other guy was not involved?
Wasn't involved with their case.
Roger that. Anyway, both of them declined the PD, Judge.
Mr. Kelvin Melendez Rodriguez, raise your hand.
Señor Calvin Meléndez Rodríguez, levante su mano
Okay, put your
derecha.
hand down.
Baje la mano.
Mr. Michael Carmona, raise your hand.
Señor Michael Carmona, levante su mano.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Both of you are charged with trafficking in cocaine. The court finds probable cause.
A ambos se le acusa de tráfico en cocaína. Su señoría halla que hay motivo fundado.
Allegedly in the amount of 1,519 grams of cocaine.
Presuntamente en la cantidad de 1.519 gramos de cocaína.
Okay, is there a criminal record on Melendez Rodriguez?
One moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Melendez Rodriguez, how long have you lived in South Florida?
Señor Meléndez Rodríguez, ¿cuánto hace que vive en el sur de la Florida?
9 años.
9 years.
8 años.
Are you currently employed?
8 years. En la actualidad está empleado.
Yes.
What type of work
Sí.
is that?
¿Qué tipo de trabajo es ese?
En mantenimiento y tengo una compañía de mantenimiento también.
Maintenance, and I also own a maintenance company.
Do you have any money in the bank?
¿Tiene algo de dinero en el banco?
Sí.
Yes.
How much?
¿Cuánto?
Como $8,000.
Like $8,000.
Own any land or property in South Florida?
¿Es usted dueño de algún terreno o propiedad en el sur de la Florida?
Sí.
Yes.
What do you own?
¿De qué es usted dueño?
De una casa.
A house.
How big is the house?
¿Cuán grande es la casa?
3 cuartos y 2 baños.
3 bedroom, 2 bath.
Okay. Now, Mr. Michael Carmona.
Ahora, señor Michael Carmona,
How long have you lived in South Florida?
¿cuánto hace que vive en el sur de la Florida?
Yo vine de vacaciones ayer.
I came here on vacation yesterday.
Okay. Are you employed in Puerto Rico?
¿Está usted empleado en Puerto Rico?
Sí.
Yes.
What type of work?
¿Qué tipo de trabajo desempeña?
Mecánica y lavado de autos.
¿Mecánica y qué más?
Y lavado de autos.
Mechanic, work, and car wash.
Do you have any money in the bank?
¿Tiene algo de dinero en el banco?
No.
No.
Do you own land or property in South Florida
Eso
or
es-
anywhere in Puerto Rico?
¿Es usted dueño de terrenos o propiedades en el sur de la Florida o en algún lugar en Puerto Rico?
No.
State,
No.
Are there priors on Mr. Melendez? Or
Your Honor, I don't have anything on him. Patrice, did you have anything?
is there anything on Carmona?
I mean, there's nothing on Carmona. On Melendez Rodriguez, I have... possession of cocaine paraphernalia from 06.
El señor Meléndez Rodríguez tiene tenencia de cocaína y de instrumentos para consumo de cocaína, cargo que data del 2006.
And it looks like I'm showing Mr. Melendez as a pending federal charge.
Y
from January of this year out of Pennsylvania.
que el señor Meléndez tiene un cargo federal de enero de este año en Pensilvania.
There you go.
Out of where?
Well, and yes. Yeah.
What, out of Pennsylvania?
Yes.
And do you have a federal case number?
No.
It's open?
Yes, Your Honor.
El cargo federal está abierto.
Over the FBI.
What's it for? Drugs?
Title 21 U.S. United States Code 846. Conspiracy to distribute controlled substance.
Conspiración para distribuir sustancias fiscalizadas es el cargo.
Okay. Mr.
Did you read
Kelvin Rodriguez, sir, you
Señor
already
Calvin
have a
Rodríguez,
federal case
ya usted tiene un caso federal
in Pennsylvania
en Pensilvania
for conspiracy to distribute drugs.
por conspiración para distribuir drogas.
Now you've allegedly engaged in a serious drug case in
Ahora
Broward County.
Presuntamente se ha involucrado en un caso grave en el condado Broward,
involving a large amount of cocaine.
involucrando una gran cantidad de cocaína.
The court is rather certain that as soon as the federal court finds out about this case,
Su señoría está bastante segura de que tan pronto el Tribunal Federal se entere acerca de este caso,
your bond will be revoked in the state of Pennsylvania on the federal case.
su fianza será revocada en el estado de Pensilvania en el caso federal.
The court, noting that you have a prior cocaine and drug paraphernalia matter,
Su señoría, no tanto de que usted tiene un previo cargo por tenencia de cocaína e instrumentos para consumo de cocaína,
will set your bond at $250,000 today.
va a fijar el monto de su fianza en $250,000 hoy.
And order there be a nebia requirement
Y se ordena de que exista el requisito Nevia.
you must show the court
Usted deberá demostrar ante el tribunal
in a future hearing
en una audiencia en el futuro
that the funds used to secure your bond and collateralize your bond
que los fondos usados para su fianza y para avalar su fianza
come from clean, legitimate, lawful sources.
vienen de fuentes limpias, legítimas.
The bond must not be the collateral must not be encumbered while you're on bond.
El avalo de la fianza no deberá tener ningún gravamen mientras que usted esté en libertad bajo fianza.
You are only allowed to leave Broward County to attend a court hearing in the state of Pennsylvania.
A usted solo se le permitirá que salga del condado Broward para asistir a audiencia en el estado de Pensilvania.
And your passport must be surrendered before you're released.
Y su pasaporte deberá ser entregado antes de que usted sea colocado en libertad.
You're ordering full collateralization also?
Yeah, bond must be fully collateralized.
La fianza deberá ser con un colateral, es decir, con garantía.
Now, Michael Carmona.
Ahora Michael Carmona.
Sir, you're in a different position.
Señor, usted está en una postura diferente.
Though you live in Puerto Rico,
aunque usted vive en Puerto Rico,
you are a U.S. citizen.
Usted es un ciudadano de los Estados Unidos.
And the court notes you have no criminal record.
Y su señoría nota de que usted no tiene antecedentes penales.
The court will reduce your bond.
Su señoría reducirá el monto de su fianza
$50,000
a $50,000.
Your bond will be based on the amount of cocaine involved in the transaction.
Su fianza será basada en la cantidad de cocaína involucrada en la transacción
and your lack of ties to the community.
y su falta de vínculos en la comunidad.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Have a nice day.
You too. Now, okay, I think that's it.
Okay.
I'm sure.
All right. Frank Vieira, DeAndre Miller, Maurice Dennis.
Judge, Frank Vieira is a medical reset. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to set it for Thursday in the PM.
DeAndre Miller is advising that Perry Thurston is his attorney.
Well,
Not
Mr.
anymore.
Miller, I talked to Mr. Thurston. He's now employed as a full-time public defender in West Palm Beach. So he's not allowed to.
Is that right?
Yes.
Congratulations to him.
That is, that he cannot, I think there are rules that say he can't do this kind of work anymore, so.
Not familiar with those rules.
Yeah, so you're going to have to find another attorney. If you want, I'll reset this off for tomorrow and let you try to find another attorney, or I can handle it right now. What would you like to do? I mean, well, as a practical matter, you've got a violation of probation. You're not going anywhere anyway. But you know what, though? Here's the thing. I set your co-defendant's bond at $50,000 based on the level of violence toward the woman, based on your co-defendant's criminal record. I do note you're already on probation for burglary. I just as soon set your bond at $50,000 today. And if you want to seek a bond reduction, you can go in front of your trial judge, all right?
Judge, are you taking into consideration the fact that he had actually nothing to do with the violence that occurred? I mean, he was allegedly just the driver of the vehicle?
No, the court thinks that this, frankly, at this stage, the court, from reading this, thinks that he's up to his chin in it, just like the co-defendant. I mean, he was driving the getaway car. He was in and out of that parking lot helping the co-defendant case the victim, and I think he's just as culpable at this stage. So I'm going to assume he has no money and excellent ties to the community. The court's going to set his bond up $50,000. Thank you. No bond on count 3, no contact with the alleged victim or any of the witnesses. Thank you. How about Maurice Dennis?
Bonded.
Just right on posted. Hello.
Okay, what about Michael Kelly, Reginald
President
Kendall,
to me.
and Todd Craig? Kelly?
This is Mr. Kelly.
Hi, Mr. Kelly. Possession of PVP, which is also known as black up, resisting arrest, trespassing, and tampering with evidence. State, do you have any priors on Mr. Kelly?
Patrice, do you have notes? No. Yes, he has a lot of priors, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Kelly, do you have any money in the bank?
Do you have any money in the bank? No.
Are you currently employed, sir?
Do you have a job?
Work at a car shop.
Okay, go ahead, Steve.
One moment, Judge. Mr. Kelly, he's out right now in a burglary of a dwelling and theft, criminal mischief. 15500 CF10A.
Sir, today the court will set your bond at 1,000, 100, 100, and 1,000. Revoke your bond on 15500 CF10A. That bond is revoked, sir. Thank you.
Off you go. Good luck. Bond's revoked.
Reginald Kendall. Reginald Kendall.
He's probably still on loan.
Medical reset, Judge.
Thursday p.m.
You're on. All right.
Thursday p.m. There you go. How about Todd Craig?
Right here, North Broward.
I killed her.
Mr. Craig, possession with intent to
I
sell
thought we were
delivered
going to do it the
cannabis.
first day. Yeah, I'm going to say something because the judge said we were going to deal with it today if it was.
Disorderly conduct, trespassing, court finds probable cause. Do we have any priors on this gentleman?
One moment. Patrice, do you have any notes? I'm not speaking to you. Possession of controlled substance with intent to distribute, Adenier Park, 04, 55-month state prison. Leaving the scene of an accident, 03. Resisting without violence, 03. Tampering with evidence, 02 with the VOP, 55 months. Battery, 02. Theft, 02. Resisting without violence, 02. Resisting without violence, 02. Resisting without violence, 01. Strong arm robbery, 95, 6 years state prison. Possession of cocaine, 95, 5 years. 93, aggravated battery, 6 years. Delivery of cocaine, 92, 6 years. Possession of cocaine, 91, 5 years. Aggravated assault, 1990, 4 years.
Got it. Okay, sir, you currently employed?
Yeah. No, sir.
Do you have money in the bank?
No, sir.
So I'm going to go ahead and set your bond at $5,000 on count 1, count 2 and 3. Released ROR. You do have you've gone to prison before, 55 months for drug charges, tampering with evidence. You have prior strong arm robbery, aggravated battery. Thank you.
Your Honor, before we go on, I'm sorry, but I really have to bring up
You're going back.
on Reginald Kendall. Yes, but Your Honor, it's on a murder case.
Right.
On Reginald Kendall, and I know that Your Honor's had a lot of cases since yesterday, but you specifically stated yesterday, we'll reset it for one more day, and then we're going to address this when it comes back. He's being held in custody while at the hospital since Sunday, and there hasn't been a determination made yet. I really think it's time.
You know what? I'll do it, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I will determine how to proceed. We're going to determine either probable cause or proof evident presumption grade today on Mr. Kendall. I've read the report on Mr. Kendall, and allegedly he had killed a female in a hotel room in Fort Lauderdale. He allegedly called 911, identified himself as Reginald Kendall, allegedly told the 911 operator they had done something bad. He stated, allegedly, I killed my girlfriend. He said he choked his girlfriend. Said he had taken pills and cut himself, attempt to kill himself. The police got there. The victim was pronounced deceased on scene by the deputies. The defendant made several statements to medical personnel regarding what had occurred, stating that the murder actually occurred on June 27th. The defendant stated he was arguing with the victim regarding his drug use and had choked her with his hands until she died.
Yeah.
The medical examiner determined the death was a homicide. Does anybody have a response to, are you seeking to hold this defendant without bond?
Yes, Judge.
Anybody have a response to whether or not this is proof evident presumption grade today?
Judge, I would ask the court to provisionally appoint the public defender's office to represent him. At this juncture, I'm going to invoke his right to remain silent. We're going to reserve as to any and all arguments at this juncture with regards to proof evident presumption grade. I would also, at the request of the attorney that met with him at the hospital, to allow cell side visitation. There may be some mental health issues too, so I'll ask for the mental health screen too, and ask an order to allow us to visit him cell side and communicate with him.
Here's what the court's going to do. The court's going to find proof evident presumption grade based on the affidavit attached here to the defendant allegedly committed the murder of the deceased female, Sarah Robinson. Defendant will be held without bond. Now, I'll give you an order to that effect. I would just, if you could word it and that this court strongly urges the sheriff's office to allow the public defender to visit with the defendant bedside if appropriate security measures can be accounted for, something to that, because I don't want to order them to do something to say, hey, look, he's such a security risk. I'm afraid if you send a lawyer in here that he's going to bonk the lawyer over the head. So if they can work the security out, they should be allowed to do that, all right? Okay. Ryan Ware.
Ryan Ware is a medical reset, Judge.
We don't need to do it. I'm going to send it straight to the division. There you go.
Okay. It's
No
right there.
bonds
I think it's
on some of those.
Judge, we have one more on your
With the
docket.
court-appointed PD's office, because it's satellite cases, and I just don't want to. I understand. I didn't see a court date on there. He's at the hospital, and there are no bond holds. So I just maybe somebody in our office could track it if there are any issues. Will the court consider just provisionally appointing us?
Yeah, I mean, I will, yes, I'll do it, but, just concerned about the taxpayers' money. Sometimes we're appointing, try to be economically, sound by not over-appointing, you know what I mean?
Well, I do understand the court's position. It's just the fact that he's in custody, he's being held no bond, and he's entitled to some court counsel. That's all.
Here you go. Hey. Okay, now, we're gonna go to the second look docket. Do you have anyone over?
Judge, before you move to the second look, we still have one left on your afternoon docket.
Who's that?
On page 12, John Hora. Ed Hogue is his attorney. I spoke with Mr. Hora. He was asking if the court could reset this to tomorrow afternoon to give Mr. Hogue an opportunity to come down.
Okay, we're gonna set this for Thursday.
Thank you, Judge.
Let's just check.
Judge, there's also one gentleman that you reset for the afternoon. The gentleman has been in custody since June 21st. You asked for the matter to be reset for the afternoon. His name is Edward Leahy. He's at the North Broward jail.
I'll take care of that next.
Okay, thank you,
What
Judge.
about John Hora? Did he bond?
No, John Hora's right here.
Oh, no, but
He might
somebody
be
over
getting
here saying his
extra.
bond was posted, so we'll find out. Bond posted, so don't reset him for tomorrow. Where is Mr. Hora?
Right here, Judge.
Your bond's been posted. You're going to be out of jail shortly. Contact your attorney, Mr. Ed Hogue. Do you know how to get a hold of him?
Yes.
Ed Hogue, contact him tomorrow. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Judge. Good luck.
Now, State, are there any RORs on the circuit?
John, I'm just going to need one moment.
Mr. Miller, is there anyone else over there?
Judge, I have one second look. It's Jatarius Wynn. It looks like he's got several juvenile cases, or at least one juvenile case, several charges, and a misdemeanor resisting without $100 bond on that. The juvenile cases are all no bond holds. I guess the concern is that he's been here for a week and he doesn't know what's going to happen next, when he's going to see a judge. Don't have no contact with nobody.
Okay, so he's here on resisting arrest, but he's got multiple juvenile holds, right?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay, well, I'm going to send this to the division, and maybe somebody should contact the juvenile public defender and see if they can get it on the docket. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Now, Missy Angela Brown. Angela Brown, please. Miss Brown, where are you, ma'am? Raise your hand. I can't hear him.
Say it again.
Oh, I'm here.
Okay, ma'am, you're here for trespassing and theft. How come you've not bonded out of the jail, Miss Brown?
I did place bond.
When did you put your bond up?
My lawyer did at Gypsy Queen Lawyer's office.
Gypsy Queen Lawyers, okay. When was that done? Today?
That was done last night.
Okay, so you
$125.
You should be out of jail soon.
$125.
Good luck, thank you.
Huh?
You should be out of jail soon, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're probably working on it, right? All right, who are, yeah, Ms. Brown. Okay, State, are there any cases we can ROR on the felony docket?
Yes, Your Honor, just one moment, please. Just give me. As long, I would say as long as BSO deems that there's not a security risk or,
Okay.
Okay, Your Honor, okay. I can go through them one by one real quickly if you like, Judge.
Go ahead.
Okay. Adam Cooper, here's what's going on. On 156945 CF10A, he's eligible for ROR. But on 157180 CF10A,
right,
that would have to be reset for 7, I'm showing 7/6. Well, let me make sure that's right.
Say is that
That's next Monday.
next Monday?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's up to him if you want, what to do. But Dennis Rodriguez is an ROR.
What? Your Honor,
Sir,
what happened?
Sir, just...
We're not talking to you, Mr. Cooper. Just relax.
Mancine
Go ahead.
is filed on Odyssey.
Got it.
Candelario filed on Odyssey. Bell, ROR. Barrett's a second look.
Mr. Cooper, you have 2 cases on the docket today. One of them I can release you on your own recognizance, but the other one I can't. The other one next needs to be addressed on what day? Next Wednesday?
Next Monday.
Next Monday?
Yes.
So the other one needs to be addressed on next Monday. You come back to this court next Monday. So would you like me to just save and deal with both of them on the same day? Or do you want me to release your ROR on one of them today and wait to see what happens on the next Monday? See, the smart way to do this is don't let me ROR you on one so you keep getting credit for time served. And then on Monday, you may be able to get ROR'd on both. But it's up to you. What would you like to do?
I'll wait till Monday.
Okay, that's probably the best way to do it. So I'll see you on Monday, all right? Just reset these.
All right, thank you.
Can we just reset these for Monday?
Yes, please.
Look, I signed these ahead of time. You don't need me to. Can I- There you go. Okay, what about Dennis Rodriguez?
Facility, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hello, sir. Mr. Rodriguez, on case 157008, CF10, ROR is hereby granted. You're going to be released shortly on this, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sir. How about La Prima Bell?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where's Miss Bell? Miss Bell?
How you doing?
Good, ma'am. Ma'am, on case 157059, the motion to release you will be granted. You're going to be released from custody shortly, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. There you go. Like that. Okay. Where's Albert Barrett? Where's Albert Barrett? Albert Barrett. You know what, I wouldn't grant the second look motion. I'm gonna let this go straight to the division anyway, okay? That's gonna be denied on Barrett. There you go. Okay, so he's done. How about James Candelario?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Candelario, just give me a minute. I need to look this case up here. Sir, on June 30th of 2015, the state of Florida filed a formal charge against you. State of Florida versus James Luis Candelario. Count 1, carrying a concealed weapon by a convicted felon. Count 2, loitering or prowling. And I'm going to look on the last page here on the computer. Hold on one moment. So I'm looking, Stacy Dorenzo of the state attorney's office signed the formal charge against you on June 30th, 2015. So let me ask the defense, do you have any issues with this?
No, I don't.
Okay, the motion to release Mr. Candelario will be denied. All previously set bond and release conditions shall remain in full force and effect. Thank you, Mr. Candelario.
I said it in accordance with BSO security protocol.
Merci, Michael Mancini.
in the middle of sending something.
County facility, Your Honor.
How you doing? How you doing today, Your Honor?
Fine, Mr. Mancini. I need to look yours up on the computer here also. Let me look here.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mancini, sir, on June 30th, 2015, the state of Florida filed a formal charge on you on case 15-7009 CF10. I'll read it. The state of Florida versus Michael Anthony Mancini. Count 1, burglary or conveyance. 2, petty theft. 3, resisting arrest without violence. 2 and 3 are both misdemeanors. When you look on the last page, this formal charge was signed and sworn to by Stacy Dorenzo, State Attorney's Office, June 30th, 2015. Let me ask Mr. Afsal, do you have any comments about this?
No, I don't, Judge.
The motion on Mr. Mancini will be denied today. All previously set bond and release conditions, sir, shall remain in full force and effect. Thank you, Mr. Mancini.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Sir. What do you want me to do with this? Okay, what about Jatarius Wynn? Did I already do that? Wynn?
Patrice,
Ma'am?
are you gonna?
Ma'am? What do I do with this? Wynn? Resisting arrest, he has 5 days in. What do you want me to do? Send it to the division. Send it to the division. Do you want to write it on here?
I'm sorry. Dave, it's been a long day. 6283, right? Thank you. Bye.
Okay, we have another one over here. Mr. Leahy. Edward Leahy.
Hello?
Edward Leahy.
Hi, is this Officer?
Do we have Edward Leahy in the main jail?
It's funny. As I'm calling you, Officer Swisher's calling me. All right. Thanks. All right.
You know what? He wasn't up this morning. He is now
Hey,
down.
here's what's going on. The judge got no PC at this point because there's no mention.
I spoke with the deputy over in North Broward. He was in court at the time, but there's a count too where there has to be a hearing for a bond. So if he's not tomorrow. Thank you, Judge.
Thursday PM on Mr. Leahy. You make sure to
I
set
know,
this
but the
tomorrow
judge
PM.
is covering all
There
the
you go.
bases. I assume you should.
That's it, am I correct? Like I did everything?
But you don't have to read me from her statement. I'm just assuming you spoke to Anna Maria and she said she doesn't know this person. She never. Okay. Did she mention if she ever had any work done on this window? I know. Okay. Would you be able to provide me a supplement by
I think that's a wrap, am I
tomorrow
correct?
morning? Just stating that.
That's it, okay, tomorrow is,
Took a statement from the
tomorrow
victim. She
actually
does
is
not
not
know
hump
this
day,
person.
today's
Never gave
hump
this person
day.
permission to enter. There's
Because
no reason
tomorrow
that this person's legitimate
is
reason
Friday
this
is the
person's
last day of the
fingerprint should
week.
be on our window
So
of the
today goes to hump day, tomorrow's the last day of the
glass.
week.
I know, but
And
it's, you know
tomorrow
what? It's
will be
either
treated as
we
the
got
last
two. We
day
got
of
two
the week
choices
as
for the
usual.
judge.
And so we'll see everyone back here tomorrow
Give the
morning.
judge what he wants
Bright and
and,
early.
yeah.
The court has extradition court, so we're not going to be in here until about 10 minutes of 9.
No, I understand.
But until
but
then,
I understand.
we're out from 2:35. Thank you.